this is a question that I cannot give an objective answer to. It's like, because the question that I'm posing you, it's a really subjective thing. It depends on the player that's being asked the question. So at the end of the day, it depends on who exactly I'm asking the question to. But because this question is directed towards a game that has not been released yet, that has yet to establish their target audience like firmly in place, I think now would be the perfect time to actually discuss whether or not like a male protagonist only should be a good scenario for the game. Please do understand that this is not dependent on my own preference. I'm just talking based on what I think, based on what I think makes sense, okay? Because me personally, I don't care. I don't care if there's two protagonists, male or female, because end of the day, I'm just gonna play with the male protagonist. It's just my preference. I don't care. But if we're considering for a moment that it's only the male protagonist, like, should Ananta have only the male protagonist? When this is the question, we need to understand what the target audience of the game is. Now, a large chunk of the player base generally would probably prefer using the male protagonist, is what I think. It's just that I think it comes from a sense of parasocialism, where a lot of players might want to just project themselves onto the main character, and since most of these players are dudes, so I am assuming that guys with the tendency to be parasocial and self-insert into games would be leaning more towards male protagonists. Am I one of them? Probably. Yeah, I am a bit parasocial. I like connecting with the characters in the game. I think it's fun. I like self-inserting. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think it's bad to want to like project yourself onto your character to just enjoy things from their perspective, you know? It's fun. But it's not something that actually makes or breaks the game for me. Like, if I'm playing with a female protagonist, it's also fine. And the main issue arises from the fact that the developers for Ananta, they've already confirmed that we're going to have a female protagonist as well. But as we've seen from the track record so far about this game, they've had multiple changes in the direction, model differences, the game's direction, how the gameplay was supposed to go, the monetization system. It has changed multiple times, and those changes have delayed the game significantly longer than it was supposed to come out. It's not a bad thing, but I'm just saying it to actually like give you a perspective as to what's really happening. Yeah. Now the thing is, if the developers, they decide to just scrap the female protagonist and just go with male protagonist only, you know, we're just gonna focus on the male protagonist, flesh out his personality, the story, just focus the entire game on him instead of having to optimize things like so that it suits both genders of the protagonist. I mean, I guess it makes sense. On one hand, it does reassure me of the quality of the game, that the story is gonna be nice, the directions are probably gonna be nice. These are still just probabilities. Regardless of what happens, I'm still skeptical, of course. Skeptical, but also hopeful. But on the other hand, I think if you can execute dual protagonists in a game, like male or female protagonists in a game, and integrate them well into the story with distinct personalities despite being the quote-unquote same person, I think that just gives your game more life. That's just something, I think that would be something really cool. And more than that, I don't necessarily see any harm in having a female protagonist, you know? Like, there's plenty of guys who just want to play as a hot chick. You know, they just want to be a chick in the game, and that's also cool. It's also fine. Like, I personally don't think that it would be a good idea to scrap the female protagonist for a male protagonist only game. I would understand if they just decided to go for male protagonist only, like from the get-go, but since they have already established the fact that the female protagonist exists, a fan base has already formed surrounding, and a part of them expect that female protagonist, that part of the game. And if you just scrap that, you lose a huge chunk of the fan base. I don't know if huge, you lose a chunk of the fan base in in my opinion, I would rather they don't scrap the female protagonist, just because like one of their key points is they want to make the feel of this game feel more immersive to the players. So I think having a female and male protagonist will just help enhancing that feeling more. And like end of the day, what matters to me is you just make the game good, dude. All this argument for by having a male protagonist the developers can focus on this and that. Answer me this: why can they not do the same thing while a female protagonist also exists? You know, like you may not realize it, but the reasoning you're providing for the male protagonist's existence, you're kind of letting the devs be lazy. You know, like you're okay with the devs being lazy. I don't know, I think the game should just be good regardless of if there's only a male protagonist or a female protagonist as well. You know, quality matters, not these factors that aren't even going to affect most of the people anyway. If you don't like the female protagonist or male protagonist or any of the protagonists, don't fucking play the game. If you don't like something about something, ignore it.